All right, guys, welcome back to the World Championship Series, European Premier League Season 3, as we will have our second match of the night on the way very soon between sLivko and ThorZaIN.
That's right. It's going to be a good game, but before we jump into that, we do want to remind you that our awesome sponsor, Roccat, is running the same competition as yesterday. So just jump onto twitter.com, of course, and hashtag WCS and hashtag Roccat to get your shot at winning one of these awesome mouse right there. You've got it next to you today, haven't you?
I do indeed. We have the Kona Pure Optical, same mouse that you are using as well. So
I'm using it. There's my hand on it.
Rather dandy mouse.
Look, there's my hand on it.
We should probably give them the one that you've used.
No, it's all sweaty and stuff. You don't want that.
No, you don't.
Yeah, so you get the chance to win that, and all you got to do is predict who's not first, who's not third or fourth, but who is second place in this group today. So basically, who wins the final match of the evening, the final match of Group E. And we don't know who that's going to be yet.
No, we do not.
Could be Bling making his way through the loser match into that final match.
Still has the possibility of being anyone, really. Absolutely anybody.
Absolutely. Well, one guy isn't.
Is
us.
Is us.
Don't predict us.
Are we always winners?
We're always winners.
We're always
we sit behind the desk, we're winners. All right, so getting on to this next match that we have coming. We have two players that haven't really been in the spotlight recently. One guy with bigger arms than the other, and a bigger neck, and bigger shoulders, and bigger head, and massive forearms.
Massive forearms.
Oh, God, don't put them next to each other.
His symbol in Virtus Pro of a bear is very apt, because he is a giant bear man. He's pretty cool.
He is a giant bear man. Yeah. I remember at DreamHack Summer, they were playing, or they, and I say the Russians, were playing ping pong in the Twitch TV lounge.
Uh-oh.
And whenever you lost a point, they were doing like 5 pull-ups. And you lose a lot of points in ping pong.
Yeah, you do.
And that was sLivko and his friends. They are big. So you don't want to mess with them. And that's what ThorZaIN has to do. So it is sLivko against ThorZaIN. Terran versus two players that are very down in the global ranking system. Rank 65 for sLivko, rank 60 for ThorZaIN. Two players this year who very simply just have not performed, but this is the stage to do so. This is the last season of the year, Season 3. There's still chances for both of them to make it to BlizzCon if they were to do super awesome, amazingly well.
Super awesome.
But we'll see. It starts right here.
Aside from StarCraft, who would win in ping pong? sLivko or ThorZaIN?
sLivko, because he was playing it and he was willing to do 5 pull-ups for every. Or you can look at it in reverse and say that he was that bad at ping pong, that that's how he got that big.
You could, yes, you could. But dude,
look at it in 2 different ways.
If I was staring down across the table at sLivko and I serve the ball to him and he's about to swing, I'm going to get out of the way of that ball.
Imagine if he got really sweaty, clammy hands and let go of the racket.
Uh-oh. It'd take your head off.
That's something you don't want to be in the way of. So he's a big guy, but he's able to put that big size into a more compact area and get onto his keyboard and mouse and play StarCraft. And he plays it all right. He's in the WCS Premier League. And we'll see what he can do against ThorZaIN, as ThorZaIN gone back to school recently, not playing as much, but has been practicing and is the last hope for Sweden. Either Sweden at the end of today is going to be happy that the T-Funk has moved on to another round, or they're going to be a little bit sad because there are no Swedish representatives left in the WCS Europe Premier League.
And this is the last season of WCS for 2013. So it's a big one, because you need points, you need all that money as well. And we'll now jump into game number 1, as we have spawned down to the bottom right-hand corner our red Terran representing Sweden and Evil Geniuses. He is ThorZaIN, TZ, T-Funk, all of those good names. And up to the top left are blue Zerg representing VP BenQ, as well as Russia. He is the mighty bear man. He is sLivko.
sLivko's fallen short in both seasons in the round of 32. He has qualified for both of the Premier League seasons, Season 1 and Season 2, but he has lost in both of them really early on. So he lost versus Sase and Bunny in Season 1. I remember the Sase games. I think it was like a 4-gate on Whirlwind. And then Bunny just wrecked him, basically. And then we had Stefano and MC in Season 2, which you could argue, in Season 2, having to go up against Stefano and MC, 2 amazing players, that was always going to be a difficult run. But this group, if he was ever to go advance, if we were to ever repeat history for Season 1 and Season 2, this is, I would say, the most likely group that he would ever make it out of.
Yes. Yes, if you looked at the players, then I would certainly agree with that. sLivko's a hard worker, a very hard worker. Despite not attaining those results just yet, you can guarantee he's hungry for them. As well, now ThorZaIN stands in his way, but after that, if he does advance on, he has to defeat Welmu, and that will be a hard match in itself, because again, Welmu's an aggressive Protossic when it comes to playing against Zergs.
That's right, that's right. He is, and he'll look to kill you. Really fast. Command Center first from T-Funk here, as ThorZaIN just very standard to do so, and I think we will see a standard game out from ThorZaIN. Don't think we'll see anything too creative from ThorZaIN, just playing out the normal game. Recently, though, if we look at we talked a little bit about sLivko and playing in WCS, but ThorZaIN on the other side of things, he almost made it to the top 8, if you remember.
Yeah. Almost.
In Season 1. And it was in the group with Stefano and Baby Knight, if I remember correctly. And it was it Baby Knight? No, it was Damarga. Damarga, he lost that last game on. Remember, if anyone watched...
It was a heartbreaker for
Season 1, it was a
fans.
heartbreaker for ThorZaIN. He left the wall down, and a counterattack killed him.
Yep.
That's as simple as it was.
And he was
almost
ahead.
Made it.
He was ahead in that game. Damarga had to make something happen, and he did.
Tied up series to see who moves on to the top 8.
Yeah.
Where you'd get repeat Premier League. You'd have the option to play, of course, for season finals. And it all fell short. So close, but so far. And then in Season 2 was the group he was in with Baby Knight, and it was not pretty. 0-2 versus Rhett. 0-2 versus Baby Knight.
Dude, I think with ThorZaIN and now even Lucifer not advancing on past the round of 32, I think we have to look to Happy for that Terran dominance in Europe.
European hope. The European Terran hope is Happy.
It's a it's a weird thing to say. I mean, he's always been super strong, but it is now Happy who flies that flag high.
Viva la Russia.
Viva la Russia. Well, and another Russian here looking to do well is sLivko. As we will see if he can defeat ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN's just... Both of these guys playing out the standard normal game right here. Just getting that speed up for sLivko so he can play a little bit more defensively against Hellions that will come along. But, ThorZaIN, just with that command center first, his economy is going to be nice.
And potentially more aggressive too. There's a couple of different branches he can go down if he was to build Zerglings quite soon here. I mean, he could try to get a surround on the bunker, and then there's, 1 or 2 lines still left to defend. And then, of course, he can easily get back into gas near speed's completion and go for some kind of Zergling bailing all in, Zergling Roach bailing all in. Something along those lines is definitely possible, but with 10 drones on the way, we're not going to see an early attack from him. And by T-Funk, textbook style.
Textbooks.
Reading it from the study books here.
Yeah, he's going for that third command center, just a super economy focus here. But at the same time, he is actually going to let these 2 gases finish at the naturalist sLivko. So what is he up to?
Well, he's gone up to 3 gases all at once because his 2 gases weren't down that early. So with 3 gases, what's going to be able to power him to do is throw down the double Evo soon, I expect. 3 gases is quite a lot for a Roach bailing all in because Roaches are rather expensive, so it should be going over into upgrades and then a layer at the same time here. Makes the most sense, I think, here from sLivko.
The Roach one
does come down instead of the evolution chambers. So, I mean, if you look at his drone count, he's at 42. It's a little bit higher than you'd usually go for an attack. So I guess the 3 gases makes a little bit more sense. Overlord's piling up too. He's going to go for an attack here, Claris.
Certainly so.
I didn't think it was going to be so off 3 gases, but yes, it is.
Well, there we go. This, how well is ThorZaIN going to scout this out? He's not going to... If the Queens keep denying him at the front, he's not going to see these extra gases, and he probably won't end up seeing that Roach Warren as well. Although sLivko has to keep his ramp nice and defended. Yes, he will lose a creep tumor. He has to cancel it. But aside from that, he's not going to see this just yet.
A lot of gas in the bank here. Almost too much gas if you look at it. But 9 roaches are in the way here. 10 roaches.
I guess he can mob in a lot of banelings if he gets a baneling nest as well.
And T-Funk's making an expansion play here, nice and early, very early actually.
It's just the roach. Oh, okay, there's the baneling nest going down. I would have been very surprised if that hadn't have fallen. But
16 roaches on the way, and ThorZaIN doesn't really have too much to defend. He's got mines on the way. He's no idea what's going on at all. He sees a lack of evolution chambers, I suppose, but they could also be a bit further back. He's going to have some decent reaction time.
This is going to be a huge swell of
Well, he
units.
sees it now. He knows exactly what's going on now.
Yeah, he absolutely has to here. The starport's about to finish up. He's got those double engineering bays going down, but this is a very greedy build here by ThorZaIN. He's not going to have that many units. 6 Hellions, 7 Marines, and 2 Widow Mines out the
He's even thinking that he may have to evacuate the natural. He was building a bunker on the high ground of his main. He's got 2 mines down. He's about to have 2 more, so it'll be 4 mines in total. But there's just not a lot of units here. Stim's nowhere near ready. 5 bunkers in total are being put down and slapped down here. SCV's been pulled into line. Can he make the hold?
2 Widow Mines are already at that bottom of this ramp here, so they will connect with a few of the roaches, doing a little bit of damage, but now that those Widow Mines have been used...
And 2 more mines on the way.
There's 2 more behind the bunker as well. 2 more here, so... Baneling's morphing in. As I said before, with that gas, he's going to have a lot of gas for Banelings, and here we go.
Stim is done in 40 seconds. A little bit too far away, though.
And +1 starts, +1/1 starts with this as well, but now he's breaching this main, natural even. The SCVs come off the line. That's a lot of firepower that's still here. These Banelings trying to connect with what they can, trying to hunt down those SCVs as well as the bunkers. 2 do go down.
A new mine gets put down there too. That's going to detonate, and ThorZaIN's going to hold.
Yeah, there's really not that much left.
Fantastic hold, and he's got mines everywhere at the moment. He's got 3 mines. They're going to be loaded soon.
He lost 3 workers.
28 Zerkins on the way. 6 drones coming up because he's like, holy crap, he held it.
Well,
and ThorZaIN just goes for a drop immediately. He's got Stim now with this drop. Excellent hold from the swing.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Really good preparation. I think the spread of the bunkers as well was really nice there by ThorZaIN. Of course, you don't want them too clumped up for then the roaches and Banelings to either connect with 2 or transition over to the next one very, very easily. So very, very strong hold by ThorZaIN. sLivko now, how is he going to deal with these drops?
Yeah, well, not too well. He's got a bunch of units on the ground, which will have to be following the medevac everywhere.
Yeah.
If not, he will start to lose drones, queens, and anything.
Oh, and look at the income advantage as well. ThorZaIN was rocketing ahead with that. He was up to 2,300 with those mules down just before.
If an armory comes down soon, this is all a good amount of supply depots. This is just super one-sided. He's got 1/1 upgrades, and the evolution chambers aren't even down yet.
Exactly.
And this surely can only mean that if he doesn't throw down the evolution chambers anytime soon, Roach speed will be researched, Baneling speed will be researched, and he'll just go for another attack, which has hardly any hope of working.
Well, exactly. The problem is he didn't kill... I think he might have killed like 1 Widow Mine, maybe 1 or 2 Widow Mines during all of that. So they've been retained. He still has that firepower and that defensive potential if that were to come along. Double evolution chambers, yes, have gone down, but it's catch-up mode here for sLivko.
Yeah, catch-up mode for sLivko, but what's he really catching up to? Because ThorZaIN's just, so far ahead in this game.
That's our admin. 75 workers to 60 workers here for sLivko in favor of him. So
don't make sLivko angry.
Yeah, that's scary. There's the Spire going to go down as well during all of this with this slight pause. But Glear Reconstitution as well. Centrifugal hooks have started here, so... Weird, can't see anything. But we're just filling you in on what's going on here, guys, whilst this pause gone. The armory's gone down for ThorZaIN to transition on. It's a little bit later than I was expecting. Just a tiny bit. So, there we go. All right, we can resume this, as we do have even 2 Widow Mines still in production. So, again, having 7 Widow Mines out at this point, for me, is a little bit much here.
7 Widow Mines?
That's no. I mean, it's a little bit much for sLivko to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, because he didn't get any of those kills early on, and that's really going to hurt him once he tries to go for another push.
Yeah, I agree. He can't really do another push, and ThorZaIN with 1/1 and Armory finishing up, he's going to be able to get 2/2. He hasn't got too many medivacs, which is one thing that's a little bit on, a bit of a downside.
Look at these army supplies, 67 to 27. He just needs to make nothing but units here. And, sLivko with that drone count that he is at now is just going to make nothing but army. But holding this off could be tough if those Widow Mines set up nicely.
Oh, great scan there by ThorZaIN. Perfect. Sees the army movement exactly where it was. And just going to borrow Widow Mines around in the good position here. Creep spread's not even that good because, of course, the attack came earlier.
Yeah.
And ThorZaIN's looking to close this game up.
Spreads a few lings forwards to try and catch some of those Widow Mines. One does fire at the charge, and the Overseers is now morphing in, so he can try and shut this down. Spreading his units very, very nicely here is sLivko, trying to come in from all multiple angles. But those Banelings, a lot of them connected with the Marauders at the front, and there's still a nice little army left over for ThorZaIN.
Yeah, I mean, Roach speed and Bailing speed is going to come out, which will help to deal with these kind of attacks. But still, ThorZaIN is just so far ahead in this game. He's killing his opponent's 4th base, which, if you just think to a normal Zerg versus Terran game, the Terran player is always, right now, waypointing over and over and over and over to break that 4th base. And he kills it before it's even halfway through completion. So ThorZaIN's in great shape. This is just going to be lots of light pressure, some intense pressure as well, depending on how the defense is for sLivko. Behind this, when 2-2 is done, ThorZaIN's just going to be absolutely crazy. He's going to be all over the place. He's going to have a lot of units. He can easily throw down a 4th command center. He's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of army supply. And is simply commanding this game after such a fantastic hold earlier on.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the resources lost tab is evident of that. sLivko's lost double of his opponent, and it's not as if he's mined that much more either. So sLivko now is in a very, very tough spot. He's trying to get Corruptors out. He's trying to go up to Hive here to transition on, but I don't even think he's going to get the opportunity to do so. ThorZaIN's macro behind this has been pretty furious.
Yeah, Corruptor's a little bit weirder. I think he's trying to get to Broodlords really fast. Of course, we all know sLivko loves his Broodlords. But right now we have ThorZaIN with a drop going to the main base. He has a large army through the middle here as well.
Oh, this is a tough thing to deal with. Oh, nice snipe out of one of those Banelings. Every little counts here. ThorZaIN's just going to micro back into that Widow Mine field. Yeah,
and if the Banelings try to come around for this, and it looks like sLivko may be setting up a flank. Is he coming from both angles, or is he coming for a counterattack? It looks like he's going to come from behind here.
Cutting off the reinforcements first, whilst if sLivko does push in through the middle, but those Widow Mines, there's still a lot of them left. They connect with quite a lot of those Banelings. Not that many left in the entirety, but the Roaches from the back didn't do too badly.
Yeah, these units are 2-2, though, over 1-1.
Yeah. And he's just going to continue rallying forwards, pushing on here. Oh, look at the reinforcements coming along for ThorZaIN. Yeah. sLivko has very, very little left, and there's even the drop now that killed off the 4th base going into the main.
Yeah, sLivko's going to be able to well, he's not going to be able to do anything, sorry. With the Marines coming in, there's mines borrowed up, Banelings trying to get morphed in. The Marines, as you say, so many of them, with more and more units coming in, losing stuff in the main base as well.
Yeah, this is he's just getting pulled left, right, and center as ThorZaIN puts pressure onto the 3rd base, puts pressure on in the main. GG, ThorZaIN takes game number 1, and it looks like sLivko is going to have to alter up his plan a little bit here.
Yeah, tried to go for that attack, but ThorZaIN, just super amazing hold. Some great Widow Mine connections, great set of bunkers, and spread about really well. And overall, super solid hold from ThorZaIN, which gives him the upper hand in this series, because without that hold, he probably would have lost this game. But with that, he leads 1-0 in this best of 3.
And now, going on to our next map. I'm curious as to what it will be, actually. We have Aklon, Belshir, and Yonsu as our 3 maps. So Aklon was the first, Belshir will be second, and Yonsu if we need it. But after that game, unless we see a slight change-up of what sLivko wants to do, I think ThorZaIN could run him over again. It's gonna be tough for sLivko.
And I'm sure lots of Nordic fans here are wishing for ThorZaIN to go through so they can have the classic Sweden versus Finland game in the winners match.
Ooh, yeah.
But of course, the last time that ThorZaIN's been served up to Finland and Finnish players, he's not done so well, including Elfie as well in that mix. Wellmu now another one. So I think Finland more so looking forward to that one, because they're like, all right, another chance to beat Sweden in StarCraft, because it seems to be happening a lot. With Naniwa gone from this tournament, who's to stop the Finnish nerds from attacking?
Last time I was in Finland, I think they were playing them at hockey, and I think Finland won, and it was like the most momentous thing for Finland in a long time. So there was a lot of partying that particular week.
I heard in Finland they don't stop partying. They don't, well, not partying. I guess partying is the wrong word, because in Finland it's not party, is it? It's just drink.
Yeah, it's more casual drinking, and I say casual in the sense of a lot of nights, and then
a lot of late nights, and a lot of little sleep.
There's a lot of vodka involved, which I'm not really too partial to. So I actually died when I was in Finland.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Some Finnish people take you out and...
Yeah. No, actually, I have to kind of take that back, because drinking in Finland is so expensive that it's really hard to get drunk at all. And, you know, living on the money that I was living on at the time, which was not much, because I wasn't employed, I was just trying to become a caster. It was difficult. That was difficult.
There's always ways.
How was it in Sweden?
Expensive.
Was it?
Going out just in general was expensive. Didn't go out that often.
It's not too bad here in Germany.
Cologne's a lot different. Yeah,
oh,
it's a cheaper city.
Yep.
But now we are moving on to the map number 2 here, which is Belshir Vestige. So Belshir Vestige between sLivko and ThorZaIN. Do you know the last map?
Yonsu.
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 Oh, yeah, Belshir Yonsu.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think this is a 2-0?
I think we could see it. If sLivko was to go for aggression again, I would like to see it a little bit earlier than the 42 drone mark. Again, maybe around the 35 drone mark and try and make that work out. But you were alluding to the fact that the gases, there was a lot of gas there. So it was committed to a lot of banelings.
It was a later of an attack with more gas into it and for more banelings, basically.
Yeah.
And a bit of a higher roach count because his economy was a little bit better.
I think the Zerglings serve a big purpose in this aggression. You know, you have a lot of gas, you have banelings and roaches, but Zerglings are important as well in that mix, and there wasn't that many there. So, you know, to soak up either Widow Mine shots, pushing them forwards, not that much of a trade away from the Widow Mines, and then just as a little bit of a meat shield to kind of wiggle around in that natural, it's important. Anyway, let's jump into game number 2, as we have now spawning up to the top left-hand position. Currently 1 game up, our red Terran representing Sweden as well as Evil Geniuses. He is ThorZaIN. And down to the bottom right, we have our blue Zerg representing VP BenQ and Russia. He is sLivko.
VP sLivko. If only there was an I in between the VP.
VIP sLivko. He's, yeah. He's an important guy. He comes along from Russia, and
I wasn't going to say important. I was going to say impressive.
A very impressive person.
Yes.
Are you jelly?
Yes.
You are jelly.
Of course, man.
Okay.
It's a big guy.
Yeah. You and Kennegat, man. You're enjoying the workout as of late. For a long time, actually, I think. I need to get in the gym. I do. Anyways, what do we have going on? ThorZaIN. He's just cranking out that supply depot. Meanwhile, not much else. It's just going to be a standard opener, I should think, unless ThorZaIN wanted to go for something wild.
If ThorZaIN was to do something which wasn't command center first and then a third one to follow it, I'd be surprised.
Yeah,
it's the build. There isn't really any deviations. The only deviation is a Reaper opening into 3 command centers, which is virtually the same thing. If he was to do anything different, sLivko would probably be on top of it. It's a smaller 2-player map. Pure Overlords in good positions just an expected thing from a Zerg player nowadays. So for him to mess up and not see something if it wasn't 3 command centers, which then would lose him the game, I would be very surprised with that has happened too. So I'm expecting just 3 CCs from ThorZaIN, from sLivko. Same again, but maybe not for the Roach Baling, just for the double evolution chambers. Yeah, yeah. Just trying to get into a bit of a longer macro game. Have those upgrades at least even with his opponent to then deal with what he can throw at him. That'd be nice to see from sLivko. As not doubting him at all. I really enjoy the fact that you know, sLivko has been a very, very strong contender for a long time. Just unfortunately falling at that round of 32 mark, which I would like to see him surpass. Yep, he could do that today. He very well could do that today and maybe get back to somewhere where he was roughly a year. It has been a year since we really saw sLivko get some good finishes, which was, as mentioned, top 8 at the Interstream Masters Cologne tournament last year at Gamescom. And then it was the top 4 finish at Singapore last year as well.
Yes.
And that is pretty much a year exactly, right? Because Gamescom was a couple of weeks ago, so...
Pretty much, yeah. I think... The Cytex this year is a little bit differently timed, but then again, it once again is at the same time as DreamHack Winter, isn't it? So
Singapore, yeah. So yeah. It's around the same area.
Yeah,
around the same area where you got
coming up
those
to the
results.
end of the year. So, anyways,
ThorZaIN's doing something different.
Oh wow! Yeah,
wow, I didn't expect him to go 3 command centers. Wow, I really didn't expect him to do this.
Huh?
So he's throwing down a double barracks here.
Well.
Well, he's going to be playing this game out differently, that's for sure. 2 barracks in a factory, 3 production facilities. I'm a little bit surprised that sLivko didn't manage to get an overlord around the top left. He's kept one on his natural, which usually oversees the bunkers and so on. This could actually catch him by surprise here. It
could do. He's not going to spot this for a long time unless he would send an overlord in.
I really didn't think ThorZaIN would change it up.
Yeah. And what's he going to be going for here? What do you think? It's going to be Hellions with maybe even Marauders or something?
Yeah, just like it doesn't even need to be Marauders, but it may be. Like it just gets Stim and Stim, Marines, and Hellions.
Yeah.
Like that's really all you need to go for in this position. He may even decide to throw down an extra barrack soon, but with the way that he's banking up money, it doesn't seem like it's going to be. But he's going to put on a bit of pressure anyway to sLivko, who is now taking... Oh, no.
Ooh. cancels.
Okay, he cancels the gases and we'll take a third base instead.
Yeah, the Overlord just finished here, so he was trying to be as thorough about getting drones out as quickly as possible here, with that third base now going down as well, so he can populate that a little bit quicker. And ThorZaIN's keeping Marines on either side of his main here, so that he can try and deny any Overlords that would come in and have a look around, because he is doing something different and doesn't want to get spotted.
Starport should follow this up, because with the Starport, is obviously you have the Medivacs to support this. Is better than a third barracks now I think about it. The Starports with Medivacs coming out off 2 gases, which he has at the moment because he's already building Marines and Hellions, is really lining up super nice. So by the time the 2 Medivacs are ready, Stim will be ready. There's going to be a lot of Hellions supporting this. Whew.
Crazy stuff.
It's going to be a difficult thing for sLivko to deal with, who seems to be playing a little bit more normal, right? He's got a Roach Warring down. He's got a much, much later second gas.
I think... Yeah, and he's just droning up heavily, adding on 2 extra Overlords so that he can get some Roaches out for the defense. But the third has been seen. So sLivko, he knew that was always going to happen anyway.
Where are the evolution chambers, though?
I don't know, man. I guess he's opting for just a bit more of a tighter defense with his Roaches, but that has knock-on repercussions.
If he goes for a layer very soon, we could see a Roach speed, Baneling speed attack without evolution chambers still. That definitely could be the case, but he's adding on more and more drones here. But either way, whatever he's going for here, it isn't going to be that good against what ThorZaIN's planning. And sLivko has no idea about it. He's just expecting just blind 3 command centers, which every other Terran does. But that Overlord on the natural, if that was to move an inch, it would see the 3rd command center, therefore would see everything.
Yeah.
Because he'd know how late that was.
Yeah, very, very late. But he just barely does not see that. And I don't know if sLivko's going to move that or not. He sees gases being taken at the natural, and these Hellions down to the bottom have been spotted here. Those Medivacs just going to boost straight on past this.
Yeah, look how fast he's getting over there with the boost.
Yeah.
Super fast. 12 drones in production. There are only 6 Roaches.
Yeah, he wants to take this absolutely by surprise.
Okay, 5 Roaches.
And it could be 4 quickly, but no, the Queen will end up going down as well here. The drones are completely vulnerable. He transitioned so many over here, and
there is no
dear me.
Baneling Nest.
Uh-oh. Lots of damage been done here by ThorZaIN already. He's already killed off 13 workers. The Roaches are trying to come back, but they're not going to be able to deal with this. 7 more are going to pop very soon, but the Marines are already killing off so many Roaches.
Yeah, and remember, even if he loses all these units, he's dealt a massive blow to his opponent.
In the main. Those 4 Hellions trying to dart past. 3 Hellions is still the magic number, despite a 4th one going down. They're actually lining up, and he's going to get off quite a few of them once again. Oh, dear me. 23 workers have already gone down.
23 workers behind this now. ThorZaIN has 1-1 upgrades on the way. He has the 3rd command center and Widow Mines beginning. This is a little bit sad for sLivko because he got outclassed.
He's been outmanned.
He just didn't scout. He didn't know what was coming. He just got hit by an attack which he had no idea was even going to happen. And ThorZaIN is expecting like a Roach Baneling attack because he's seen the layer, he hasn't seen the Spire, he's seen Roaches being built. He's expecting the Baneling Nest to come down for a potential attack for a Roach Baneling. So he's adding on a bunker or 2 just to be sure he's okay. But this is only right now bunkers while he adds on production and still aggressive.
Yeah.
As soon as these reactors are finished on those 2 barracks in the main, he's going to be making 7 Marines at a time with Widow Mines. He's absolutely fine against any aggression.
And lots of gas now does come down for sLivko. We're starting his carapace as well, trying to get those upgrades out. And unfortunately for him, trying to equalize up the drone count because he's going to have to deal with this aggression again, but he had to replenish his income. Otherwise, he would have been run over economically by ThorZaIN. So now ThorZaIN's going to continue to put on the pressure here and kill off Overlords where he can. And he's already killed off a few.
He's killed off a few, and he's just going to kill off sLivko if sLivko's not careful. He really needs to pull something out of the bag here, otherwise ThorZaIN will walk away with a 2-0, and sLivko faces the same that he had in Season 1 and 2, which is a finish in around 32 if he was to lose his next game, where ThorZaIN right now is just set up so nice across these 3 command centers. He's got great production now. He's adding on a couple more barracks, or a single barracks.
Oh, whatever.
to push that up to about 9 Marines per cycle, or 8 Marines and a Marauder.
Dropping the scan, killing off the active creep tumors, and that's going to hurt sLivko's mobility down the right-hand side of this map for quite a while now. He does still have that creep tumor over to the left-hand side, and he's going to spread. So being really proactive about that right-hand side, keeping his mobility up along there. But with this push out, these Zerglings are sacrificing themselves.
They don't have 1-1 upgrade, so these Marines with 1-1 right now just tore them apart. +1 melee will finish in seconds. Carapace not ready yet, though. Baneling speed or Roach speed not ready either, so we can't catch up to these units. And ThorZaIN can just come stim, kill this hatchery, and then pick up and fly away like Superman.
Yeah, he can pick up all of that and just bye-bye for now. Those Roaches and Banelings, he's even... Oh, just dropping a single unit on those Banelings to try and catch one of them out. So regardless if he drops a Marine on a Baneling, it's a cost-efficient trade.
Yeah, really good game here from ThorZaIN once again, who has 2 drops on the left-hand side, 3 drops making their way across the middle of the map, with a bunch of Widow Mines at home to defend against anything that sLivko could try. So ThorZaIN's going to pull sLivko into the main base with 3 Medivacs and then drop on the other side. And killing this 4th hatchery, again, just is the ultimate goal from a Terran player.
Yeah.
Stop the Zerg from taking the 4th hatchery, stop the Zerg from getting extra gas, keep them low on economy, and win the game.
And the Roaches are not going to be able to hold this off for too much longer. They're trying to buy time for those other units to get over there. He actually might be able to save this 4th base with those Banelings now moving in, and there we go. He does clean that up. And he also cleans up the attack in the middle of the map. So the 4th hatch will survive, for now at least.
Well, sLivko's going over towards Infestor Broodlord by the looks of it. With the Pathogen Glands finishing up, we should be seeing some Infestors if he's going to get that upgrade. And then Corruptor's on the way, and he will try to aim towards Broodlords again.
All those Widow Mines here from ThorZaIN. That's a lot of Widow Mines and 71 workers for him. So his economy is absolutely smashing here with ThorZaIN completely bunkered up at his 3rd base. Going to be hard to put on some pressure as well.
Look at this attack from ThorZaIN. Look at all those Widow Mines. Look at the 2-2 upgrades that are about to complete. And then look what sLivko has to deal with this.
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. He's got those Corruptors out, so he's trying to kill off Medivacs as well as transition onto Broodlords. But I don't think ThorZaIN's even going to give him that opportunity. I think he's just going to do damage to that 4th base, and then when that's dead, only 6 gas geysers to fuel, Infestors, as well as all of this. It's going to be hard.
It's not a lot. Not a lot at all. And sLivko is about to lose that 4th base. If he doesn't get in there now, he's going to try and attack from this north-hand side, but there are mines just filtered through this valley, and everything is just getting blown up.
Yeah, the 4th base has gone down as well with those Marines putting on the pressure. 98 army supply against 57. The Corruptors do fly in and kill off a lot of these Medivacs, so that's a good pickup there for sLivko. But in the end, the bio's too strong. There you go, GG. ThorZaIN takes it 2-0 in stellar fashion.
Stellar fashion, and that does set up the winners match of this group, which is Sweden versus Finland. Wellmu versus ThorZaIN. We'll head on into our winners match, and then we have sLivko's drop down to the losers match here, and we'll have to face off against Blink.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Wellmu versus ThorZaIN. I think this will be a good one, not only for those Finnish and Swedish fans out there, with that rivalry still very much intact and will be for a long time, but also because it's 2 good opponents. Wellmu proved himself in Season 2 to be a very, very strong player, and ThorZaIN, I would say he has something to prove here. He really does, after what's been going on as of late with him.
And he looked pretty decent in these games, to be honest. He didn't really make too many mistakes. His defense in game number 1 was incredible. His build and change-up was awesome in game number 2 here. So even though in recent times you'd look at it and say, well, Wellmu represented Europe in Season 2 finals, and ThorZaIN didn't even make it past round 32.
Yeah.
So you look at it like that, and you're like, well, Wellmu should theoretically win this game and win this series against ThorZaIN, but ThorZaIN looked pretty good here today. He could put up a challenge.
Yeah, he certainly could do. So we shall be back after the commercial break, guys, and then when we are, we shall have Wellmu versus ThorZaIN to see who advances onto the round of 16.